Justice Department and Trump's legal team are both facing a critical court deadline. With that, NBC News Chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker has the details.
This morning, all eyes are on the Justice Department as it weighs whether to appeal that ruling by a Trump-appointed judge in Florida who granted the former president's request for an independent third-party review of the documents taken from his Mar-a-Lago estate. Federal agents say they seized more than 11,000 government documents, including hundreds with classified markings. According to the Washington Post and not confirmed by NBC News, one of the documents described a foreign government's military defenses, including its nuclear capabilities. The Justice Department has argued a special master would significantly harm important governmental interests, but so far has not said what it plans to do next. Now the DOJ is getting backup from Mr. Trump's former Attorney General Bill Barr, who has turned critical of his former boss.
That opinion was a mistake.
So you think it'll be appealed and overruled?
I hope it's appealed.
Barr adding he thinks the DOJ could be close to an indictment of the former president.
Will the government be able to make out a technical case? Will they have evidence by which that they could indict somebody on, including him? And I think they're getting very close to that point.
The former president has dismissed the investigation as a hoax that's politically motivated, his Republican allies echoing those attacks.
The only reason to leak to the media is to influence the narrative, which tells you this is being politicized.
Many Republicans have pointed to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's alleged mishandling of classified information on a private email server as evidence of a double standard. Clinton, who was never charged with a crime and has denied any wrongdoing, now telling The View Mr. Trump's handling of classified material should, quote, concern every American.
I don't understand how these documents ended up where they are. I don't understand how he was permitted to take them even to the residence, let alone to a country club in Florida.
Let's bring in right now former Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel. Mr. Secretary, great to have you here. You obviously served on committees when you were in the United States Senate that had to deal with secure documents. As SecDef, obviously you handled them every day. I'm curious, how grave a risk do you think the mishandling of these top secret documents could have on America's national security?
Well, Joe, I think the potential is very significant for real damage to this country. First of all, the process of collecting this intelligence, the means, the ways that we collect it, is a jeopardy here. But there's more than that. I mean, I don't know how deep this goes, how wide this goes. Nobody does yet. Nor do we really know or have any idea who may have seen these classified top secret documents. So this is very serious. I think Hillary Clinton said it. I mean, we've never seen anything quite like this before. And we've got a few more episodes to go here before we get to the end as to how much damage this could have or might have or did inflict on our national security.
Mr. Secretary, good morning. Can you speak to, we had Secretary Cohen on, we had Secretary Panetta on in the last couple of days, just to what the consequences would be under normal circumstances for anyone to bring a document, one document like the ones we've seen laid out, home with him or her. What might happen to you if you had taken documents home?
Well, you would be charged with various crimes, but more than that, it is the height of irresponsibility. You fail in your job to protect the Constitution of the United States. You take an oath of office when you become a senator or a congressman, most government jobs, but as Secretary of Defense or any other cabinet member, you take an oath of office to protect and sustain the Constitution. That means every element of our government and our security of our government to keep things secure. So, again, I don't think I can overstate the seriousness of this and what may yet come out of this.
Mr. Secretary, you and 7 other former Secretaries of Defense and 5 former chairs of the Joint Chiefs of Staff recently issued a letter urging that the continuation of democracy in terms of separation of the military from the politics of this country be reinforced, given the perilous times that we live in politically. My question to you is, when you were Secretary of Defense, given the cultural and political changes of today, but when you were Secretary of Defense, did you ever have to worry about how many Proud Boys or Oath Keepers were going through recruit training at Parris Island or in the military at places like Fort Bragg or Fort Leonard Wood or anywhere else like that, as some are worried about it today?
No. I was Secretary for 2 years, in 2013 and 2014, and I left the Defense Department in February of 2015. No is the answer to your question, although we were aware of issues in the 1.5 million member force that were starting to percolate politically, but nothing that would sound any alarms or set off any red lights anywhere. Our focus was on the security of this country, the defense of this country. And that's where the military should be. And that's what that letter was about. It was a reminder of the responsibilities of the Defense Department, and especially important, the separation between civilian control over the military. You keep the military out of policing, out of anything militaristic in this country. And it was just a reminder to everybody what that responsibility is and has been for 250 years.
Former Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel, thank you very much for being on the show this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.